Today we will take a look at the best camera for video in this year. If you want to find more information, check out links down below. 5. Nikon Z6 II. The Nikon Z6 II is the follow-up to the company's first full-frame mirrorless camera, the Z6. Now over 2 years old, the Nikon Z6 has become one of our favorite mirrorless cameras. The extra processor has also allowed Nikon to improve on the 273-point AF system that's in the Z6. As well as general performance improvements and the ability to focus in darker conditions, human and animal-like face detection are now available in wide-area AF mode. It's a solid system that's great for general photography, although if you're going to be shooting lots of action or portraits, then the focusing systems in both the EOS R5 and A7S III have the edge here. The Nikon Z6 II arrives just over 2 years since the Z6 launched, and Nikon has opted to keep the new camera's design virtually identical to that of its predecessor. While this might seem unimaginative on Nikon's part, the decision to use the same body is no bad thing. The Z6 is one of the best handling mirrorless cameras out there, with controls falling easily to hand and key settings quick to access. The joystick is also weighted nicely, while all this is complemented by a large and comfy hand grip and well-defined thumb rest. While the Z6 II keeps the same sensor, Nikon has managed to squeeze in a second EXP-EED6 processor. This delivers a number of improvements, the most notable of which is an increase in burst shooting speed to an impressive 14 fps, up from an already quick 12 fps on the Z6. 4. Canon EOS R5. Canon's prosumer mirrorless camera is hugely powerful. With a 45 megapixels full-frame sensor, supremely sticky autofocus, solid IBIS, great battery life and the ability to shoot continuously at 20 fps. The EOS R5 is an incredibly powerful tool for almost every kind of photography. While that versatility doesn't quite extend to video, it is still a compelling hybrid option if you're aware of its limitations. Design-wise, we're not looking at a game-changer with the Canon EOS R5. But given the usability of the Canon EOS R, which it's heavily based on, that's no bad thing. The EOS R5 is still substantial feeling, with a deep grip that makes it easy and comfortable to hold, but it's also easy to tote around without it feeling burdensome. Weather resistance is said to be up to the standard of Canon's 5D series, which professionals will tell you means the R5 should withstand troublesome weather better than some photographers. We'd be confident in most situations. Canon's adroit touch when it comes to building cameras that are quick and easy to use is much in evidence. 3. Fujifilm X-T4. The Fujifilm X-T4 is the best APS-C mirrorless camera you can buy right now. There's enough here to persuade both photographers and filmmakers over the X-T3, including the significantly improved battery life, in-body image stabilization, quieter shutter, and design tweaks that make a big difference to the handling. The X-T4's design is both charming and intuitive, while its class-leading photo and video specs are backed up by powerful performance. This is truly two cameras in one, and very fine hybrid all-rounder. Fujifilm doesn't often make dramatic departures from its retro blueprint, and the X-T4 is no different. Let's just say that if you've picked up an X-T series camera before, you'll feel right at home here. The X-T4's full metal body is weather-sealed and solid as a rock. With its new IBIS unit, the X-T4 is a fraction larger and heavier than the X-T3, but at 603 grams it's still much lighter compared to an enthusiast-level DSLR. A slightly bigger handgrip houses a larger battery unit that boasts almost double the shot life of its predecessor, up to 600 shots in economy mode. It's a significant step up, plus you have the option of on-the-go charging via the USB-C port. The stabilization for photos is a minor improvement over the X-T3. And it is a game-changer for those using an X-T camera without an optically stabilized lens. The sensor shift stabilization is an improvement on no stabilization at all, obviously. Shake caused by vibrations from walking are reduced, but still evident. This is certainly not the best IBIS we have seen, but it is certainly a bonus over the X-T3. Activate the digital stabilization in addition to OIS and IBIS and things improve a lot. Shake is almost virtually gone. The trade-off with digital stabilization is that a 1.1x crop factor is applied and somehow the feel of the footage isn't quite the same. The X-T4 IBIS does not completely replace the need for a gimbal, but it is very welcome and the performance is especially good when digital stabilization is added. The X-T4 uses the same 26.1 megapixels APS-C sensor as the X-T3, with the same native ISO 160 to ISO 12800 range, video resolution and frame rates. We would have no hesitation in using any sensitivity setting up to ISO 6400 because there is no visible sign of luminance noise in well-exposed images. 2. Panasonic Lumix S1H. Panasonic's Lumix GH5, GH5S and G9 are among our favorite video cameras, but Lumix S1H takes it up more than a single notch to offer stupendous performance. 6K video with 10-bit color offers picture quality that is sharp as a tack, with superb low-light performance as well. It's also the small things that count, from a cooling vent that lets you shoot for hours without worrying about overheating, to an impressive EVF and a flip-out rear display. Panasonic has put a lot of thought into the S1H. There's no time limitations to how long you can record using the S1H. You can carry on filming till you either run out of storage on your SD cards or use up the battery, whichever comes first. But all that video data processing is naturally going to generate a lot of heat. To deal with that, Panasonic has designed an internal fan placed just behind the sensor. It pulls cool air from the outside through vents on one side of the camera's rear LCD display and pushes the hot air out through vents on the other side. Panasonic has clearly paid a lot of attention to the tiny details when it comes to the S1H, be it in the cooling system, the menu options or the in-body stabilization that gives the user so much more freedom, or even the inclusion of tally lamps and the 2 recording buttons. Even the menu system has been designed to make using the camera quick and easy. 1. Sony A7S III. Sony hasn't just improved one or two aspects of its A7S series. With the new A7S III, it's made an across-the-board set of upgrades that result in a camera that's the best of its kind. It handles beautifully for video thanks to its articulating screen and touch display, while a full-sized HDMI port and excellent IBIS head the list of other treats. It's significantly dearer than the A7S II was when it launched, but if you're a videographer in need of big physical pixels and excellent low-light performance, this is as good as it gets. The A7S III also delivers excellent, customizable autofocus, with 759 phase detection AF points and eye tracking across animals and humans, which Sony claims to be 30% faster than on the A7S II. This is combined with in-body image stabilization (IBIS) and active stabilization, which marries optical and electronic systems with a small crop factor. The 12.1 megapixels sensor resolution means the A7S III can't record 6K, let alone 8K, video, instantly putting it behind much of the competition in terms of outright resolution.